Before we begin, close your eyes. Take a leap, but to remember that somewhere, long ago, was something holy looked at you and said, "Be not afraid." We've forgotten what angels are. We made them gentle. We made them pretty. Golden curls, little wings, smiling faces. But angels do not smile. The Bible never describes them as sweet. It describes them as fire, harmed, and storm, as missioners within wheels, and has faces of beasts and men and birds, and has voices like thunder that shake the earth. They do not walk, they descend. They do not ask, they proclaim. Aesthesia, in Luke chapter 2, verse 9 through 10. And behold, an angel of the Lord stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were greatly afraid. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid." Why does it always begin that way? Why must an angel always say, "Be not afraid"? Because fear is the only response a human has to the presence of something truly holy. The angel is not afraid. The angel is fear. The angel carries it, not as a weapon, but as its nature. Fear that humbles, fear that reveals, flotations that says, "You are dust," and yet he speaks to you. In Daniel 10, verse 5 through 9, the prophet says, "I looked up and saw a man dressed in linen. His body was like topaz, his face like lightning, his eyes like flaming torches. I had no strength left, my face turned deathly pale, and I was helpless." This is the response of a holy man, a prophet, a man who has seen visions, and still he collapses. Still he trembles. Still he is undone by a single glimpse of the messenger. Not even God himself, just the messenger. Have you ever felt that? A pressure in the room, like something is there that should not be. A dream you couldn't wake from, where light blinded but revealed nothing. That's the footprint of an angel. The angel does not need to speak to announce itself. Its very presence warps time, breaks sound, cracks language, and yet it says, "Brett, not because you're safe, but because you've been chosen to see it." The angel doesn't want to harm you, but it will not become small so that you feel big. It will not shrink itself to make you comfortable. It is a mirror, and what it reflects is your smallness. And that is terrifying. In Revelation chapter 19, verse 10, John sees the angel and says, "I fell at his feet to worship him, but he said to me, 'Do not do that. I am a fellow servant. Worship God.' Even the saints collapse. Even the disciples bow too soon, because angels carry the echo of heaven in them. Eurydice, and it breaks the soul like glass. Be not afraid harms not the angel's way of saying, "I'm here to help." It's the angel saying, "Your heart cannot survive this moment unless I speak mercy first." What kind of being must warn you not to die of fear before it says hello? Kaman nay. That is what we meet now. Everin, not cartoons, but deep, like a temple built from eternity itself. A god of power was this, is the angelic hierarchy. A goddess unknown to ancient prophets. A goddess a barrier reserved by early mystics. A goddess a level and guarded in sacred texts. The 9 choirs of angels are marking and messines. They are not equal. Some burn with proximity to God. On virus, others move between worlds. A level and some walking, and now silently. Awesome. Camproser, they are divided into 3 spheres, each with 3 ranks, forming a sacred triangle. Our first sphere, those who serve directly before the throne. A seraphim, the burning ones. Above him stood the seraphim. Each had 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. Isaiah 6:2 is awesome uses, Asian set a staplik to deep, angely lost franks. They do not deliver messages. They do not intervene on earth, or firstly yet. They hope day and night. Their burn is not destruction in their lives, and that they burned out. They holiness so pure that even they cover themselves before God. Sowing Howar, holy, 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 they cry, and the foundations of heaven shake. Cherubim, the guardians of glory, not chubby infants, terrible, intelligent beings. And they each had 4 faces, a man, a lion, an ox, and an eagle. And their wings were spread upward, and the sound of their wings was like the roar of rushing waters. Either covered the vast Rishon, they guard the sacred, either the ark, the throne. They are watchers, reflecting God's many aspects. In the same rank is already become thrones, the bearers of God's will. A long time, Paul writes, thrones, dominions, rulers, authorities, all things were created through him and for him. Colossians 1:16. Mediation are not seated. They are the foundations of divine justice. Seen and unseen, often silent, they carry the authority of heaven like the roots of mountains. They guard with myriads of jewels. And the dominions, they can become an all. They're the small-to-do Shiwan in dominions, lords of order. In the circle line, a 10 wings, a complicated, powers are not merciful. In Mikasa they are surgical, opposed to wars and opposed toward holy violence against unholy rebellion. Third sphere, messengers and earthwalkers. 7, principalities, watchers of nations. Exacerbated, watch over empires. Aeolus in Daniel chapter 10, we hear of the Prince of Persia, a spiritual being over a region. Behind every throne, another throne. Behind every nation, a spiritual shape, silent and vast. 8, archangels, messengers of fire. Only hibited the 2s were are named, Michael and Gabriel. Ia Mikasa Sando Augustora. Some traditions name 7. Como Vadi Pisi, they deliver great messages, fight great wars, and walk the line between heaven and earth. 9. Angels, the messengers beside us. Atheists, these are the ones who appear in dreams. Oshlo Assel sources in fields. Aele, Silas Aele, who lead you home when you're lost. Iamburspik Gabwal, in the low words, in the Li, who be, woo beard, who speak to children in whispers. Only one love down, Amburspik Gabwal, in the Li, Lubi, in the Li, how much more, Aele, Assel sources. Ombres, who carry prayers upward and answers down, the lowest choir, yet the closest to us. So now you've seen it, unposted practice the grand design line, not a hierarchy of control, or in bone or brain, would hit along of purpose of life, where allows the 3, talks about 170s, but of purpose, each level closer to glory or closer to man, even Amazgaber's agency, even Enmohor's, even from the seraph who sees God's face, or a God fora, and even unseen at yard, to the angel who stands unseen at your side. Only holy wait they serve, Bospi, they wait, Boss, and Molos.